What's good, y'all? It's your girl CJ, and welcome to day 20 of 28 Days of Black History. Today's person of importance is so unique, and he must be talked about, and more people need to know about him and his work. I am talking about Walter Francis White. Walter White was a black man born in Atlanta, Georgia, with fair skin and blue eyes. Both of his parents were born into slavery and were products of slave owner and slave. I want to point out, Walter Francis White was born in 1893, which was during Jim Crow and only 28 years after the abolishment of slavery. Though he was white passing, he still chose to identify as a black man, whereas most people would have chosen to not at that time for various reasons: safety, education, opportunities. And let me tell you how down Walter and his parents were. In 1906, at the age of 13 years old, white mobs were terrorizing black communities in Atlanta. They were rampaging through black neighborhoods, destroying property, offing black people. Now, what did Walter and his dad do? They stood out in front of their house, on their yard, with a rifle. I bring this up though, besides the fact that that was gangsta as hell, because that was the turning point for Walter. He goes to college, and then once he graduates from Atlanta University, he is one of the people that starts the Atlanta chapter of the NAACP. And then 2 years later, he gets recruited to join the national staff in New York. When he arrived to the NAACP headquarters, he volunteered to go undercover and investigate lynchings that were happening all across the country. He did this by joining the white mobs, because if you don't know this, Google it, but I'm gonna give you just a little bit of insight. It wasn't isolated. They would make a spectacle of said lynchings. So there was a crowd of people and just anybody in those white neighborhoods that wanted to watch this. So he infiltrated the white mobs to be at these lynchings and race mobs. For the 9 years he was doing this, he witnessed 41 lynchings in 8 different race mobs and documented all of it. Now, he eventually got found out and was on the run, but he still lived a long life. The reason that Walter's work was so important: his investigations gained national attention and had a big hand in civil rights legislation being passed. However, he wasn't able to witness the anti-lynching legislation being passed within his lifetime. Actually, most people during that time didn't get to see it passed. You want to know why? Because it wasn't passed until March 29th, 2022. I want to make this very clear. There have been 200 failed attempts at passing this act since the year 1900. You know, I don't really have much words for that, so I'm gonna move on. The rest of his life, Walter climbed the ranks of NAACP. He wrote several books, and he made it a point to call out the racism in Hollywood with the lack of acknowledgement of the impact of the Harlem Renaissance. Walter really used the advantage of his appearance to benefit the black community and appeal to these legislators. Per usual, make sure you thank a black person today. Stay proud and stay black.